All right, everyone, welcome to the Organizedpreneur Podcast. I am your host, Eldrima Harper, and I'm so very excited about today's episode because I'm going to be interviewing someone that is a um, business owner of one of my favorite types of products. And anyone that knows me knows that I love chocolate. And so I am so excited about this particular episode because I get to talk to someone who loves chocolate as much as I do. And so today I'm going to be talking to Sarah Holt, who is the founder and CEO of Cacao Voyage. I can't
hmm
wait to dive into this, which is a luxury chocolate. I love the word chocolate. A luxury chocolate company dedicated to bringing the world's finest Panamanian cacao to discerning palates while funding vital support for trafficking survivors. She's a self professed lover of all things cacao. Yes. Sarah combines her passion for premium chocolate with her credentials as a certified holistic health coach and ordained minister. Praise the Lord. Her work sits at the unique intersection of wellness, purpose driven business, and social impact, helping businesses grow while honoring ethical sourcing and supporting survivor communities. Now, when she's not curating bean to bar experiences or working as a grant writer for survivor led solutions, you can find her learning Spanish or planning her next adventure. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so excited. If you can't tell, I don't know if you, I don't know what else I can do or say to make you understand how excited I am about this particular episode. So let's go ahead and just dive in as we talk about what's going on in Miss Sarah's life. And so, um, I love what you're doing. I love the purpose that you're doing it. I love, of course, I love, chocolate. I've said that 100,000 times, but I also love the purpose behind it. And so, but I also want to say that, at your background as a certified holistic health coach and ordained minister is incredibly unique for a luxury chocolate importer.
Right?
So, my question is, how did those roles inspire you to create your bar to impact? I love it, that bar to impact model where chocolate becomes a vehicle for healing and directing and directly fund and anti-trafficking initiatives. So I want to hear about that, and I want to also hear how you got started. Just talk to me about your journey
Okay. Yeah.
in all of this chocolate deliciousness.
Yeah. So I became a holistic health coach because I was very ill and medicine was not helping me. And so I thought, well, I love problem solving, so I am going to pursue alternative healing practices and see if I can figure out what's going on with me so I can address it. So I was my first client when I was a holistic health coach. I learned over 150 different dietary theories I really learned a lot. And I tried a whole lot of things to see what would work for me. And I learned through that every body is different and we all react differently to different things. And it's all about learning what works well for your body.
Yeah.
And I have always loved chocolate.
Yes, my girl.
And right. And when I was going through some of the dietary theories and I couldn't have chocolate with them, I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. Not
Oh, I
long
feel
term,
you.
you know. So, um, so from that, I went into being an emotional healer. Um, and with that, I got my doctorate in biblical coaching, and so I became an ordained minister. And I worked directly with people who were having like emotional blockages to moving forward.
Mhm.
And because, I went through that myself. So I was like, I learned how to get through it. I want to help other people get through it. So I did that for a few years and I had over 150 different clients all over the world. And I loved doing that. In the middle of that, though, my parents moved in with me and I became their caregiver. And they both died.
Mm.
And so
Sorry.
my dad died of natural causes, but my mom was actually killed.
Oh my gosh.
So
So
it
sorry.
really rocked my world there.
Mhm. Of
And I
course.
stepped away from everything. I stepped away from my clients. I stepped away from my learning. I stepped away from church. I stepped away
Mm.
from everything. And I was like, I need just to be me where I
Mm.
can get refilled because I got empty through
Mm.
all of that. And I didn't even realize I was getting empty, but I was more than empty. I was
Yeah.
like giving more and more and more. And I was like, stop everything. So it took me about 2.5 years
Mm.
to be able to be like, oh, okay, I should get back into what I'm called to do. And then I was like, but what am I called to do?
Yeah. Great
What,
question, right?
I was
Yeah.
like, what should I be doing?
Mhm.
Um, and I did a lot of inner healing. I I went I love journaling. I've always been a journaler, so I did a lot of journaling, I did a lot of prayer. I did a lot of just really trying to get back in my relationship with Jesus, getting back into the trusting of him,
Mm.
which I gotta be honest and say I had a hard time with that.
Sure.
And I think it was just because of the Christianity that I was raised in was not actually who Jesus is.
Mm.
So I had a little unlearning to do and then relearning.
Wow,
So
yeah.
um, through all that, I went on a trip to Panama. Everywhere I go to chocolatiers. So I visited 4 or 5 different chocolatiers while I was there. And my husband and I were talking in an Uber on the way back to our hotel, and I was like, I have never had chocolate with that specific flavor profile before. I was like, I've never had chocolate that tastes like this before. I was like, it's got to be because it's from here. It's Panamanian chocolate. The trees are all around Panama. It's I don't know if you know this, but Panama is a volcanic island. I
Mm.
call it an island, but it's in Central America.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was formed by volcanoes. There used to be no land there whatsoever until
Ah,
volcanoes created the land there, right?
I
So
don't think I knew that. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
so I was like, so this is very different taste from the earth that's there, right? It's very different profile. And I was like, I have never seen Panamanian chocolate in America. And I am a chocolate enthusiast, right?
Right,
So
right.
I would know if it
That's
was out
right.
there. So when we got home, I looked all over the place and there was one place that I could get Panamanian chocolate from, and it was in Seattle. And I was like, why don't we look into importing this for ourselves and see what that would entail? So that turned into a chocolate importation company. And so before all that, I started working with this nonprofit called Survivor Led Solutions. And they work with survivors of human trafficking, or not just human trafficking, but any kind of trafficking. So that can be sexual trafficking,
Mhm.
labor trafficking.
Yeah.
um, the modern day form of slavery is trafficking.
Hmm.
And I developed such a heart for these women, for the founder of that nonprofit. Um, I just wanted to help. I just
Hmm.
wanted to do what I could to help them. So much so that now they have an office in my house. I mean, I really wanted to help them a lot. And so now part of the mission with Cacao Voyage is to empower some of the women to be able to be part of the business and to be able to go out and sell our product to resellers who so that they can get a commission off of what they sell, right? And they're experiencing financial freedom, they're experiencing the ability to get back on their feet. Yeah. It was a little hard for me to decide to help them to sell because I know in a lot of instances they were having to sell themselves.
Yeah.
So I didn't want anything to be triggering for them,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it is very much, if you are interested in this, come spend time with us and we'll mentor you
Hmm.
and we'll help you progress. But outside of that, um, I think I think we're up to 50% of our proceeds now go to survivors. Um, so that we really are trying to end the stigma that goes with trafficking and really uplift and support the women who have come out of it and are trying to make it on their own because sometimes these women have felonies. So it's really hard for them to get a job in
Hmm.
certain sectors with that felony background.
Right.
And this is giving them a chance to be able to prove themselves in the workforce, also prove to themselves that they are able to do it because a lot of times their confidence has just gone to zero. And it's great to be able to see them get regain that confidence. It's great to see them thriving. It's great to see them excited about things. It's just great to see how excited they are about this. When I first introduced this to the founder of of Survivor Led Solutions, she was like, "Oh my gosh, we've got to get your chocolate in our care boxes that we give to women when they first get out of the jails."
Mm.
They're like, "Chocolate, self-care."
Right. Yes. Yes.
So that's really how that all came together. It was kind of like one of those things that kind of all fell into place. Wasn't planned, wasn't really something
Wow.
that I had decided, yes, this is my goal in life. It was just something like, hey, everything kind of just all fit together because we went to Panama and I love chocolate.
What an incredible story. Wow. I mean, this is like the perfect this is like the perfect intersection between purpose and passion. And I want to use the word proclivity because you have a proclivity toward chocolate.
Yes.
I mean, it could not get any more perfecter.
Right? I
Because
mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Like it really does use a lot of my skills that I've learned. So when I went to school and I was a chemistry major. Right? So I love the science behind chocolate. I mean, there is so much science behind the creation of a chocolate bar that many people don't understand what goes on with that, right? I love that. I love learning about it. I love teaching people about it. See, I get way more animated when I start talking about it because it is amazing that God created something like that to be like that we can manipulate and help create, right? Chocolate in its pure form is not a chocolate bar. It's a
Right.
cacao bean,
Right.
right? Much like a
Right.
coffee bean. It looks
Right.
very similar to a coffee
Right.
bean. And it goes through a similar process as coffee beans. Like they farmers go out, they go to a cacao tree. Cacao trees are very finicky creatures. They are very particular. They will only grow in a 20-degree band on the earth. It's 10 degrees above and below the equator. It's the only place on the earth they grow. So they're special. They're very special. So everywhere that they are located on the earth, people have developed special ways of treating the cacao. So people ferment it differently in different places. People roast it differently in different places. So like Mexico and parts of South America, like Ecuador and Belize, they hand roast their cacao beans after they're harvested and fermented. They hand roast them over a fire in pans that have been in families for generations. It's the women who usually do it. It's a women thing. They roast them by hand. They know by look and smell and feel when they're done. It's just a wonderful process that happens slightly differently all around the world. And those slight differences in what's grown around the plants, how they harvest them, how they ferment them, how they roast them, produces a very different taste. So you can taste chocolate that's from Ecuador, which is like a lot of the cacao powder that is sold here in America, and a lot of the cacao nibs that are sold here in America are from Ecuador. So it's a taste, if you're in the health conscious world, that you are familiar with.
Hmm.
um, and it's slightly bitter. It's kind of earthy. It has some mineral taste to it. You know, that is the Ecuadorian that we get.
Hmm.
Now, the Ecuadorian that you get directly from people that produce it in Ecuador is vastly different because it has gone through a different processing than the stuff that we get here that's been industrial processed.
Right.
When you get small mom and pop processing, you taste so much more of the bean and the flavor profile, and then you're able to start to taste, oh, there's some cinnamon or some nutmeg, or there's a little bit of allspice flavor in this, or there's a little bit of honeysuckle maybe, or I'm tasting some sort of dried fruit. All of those flavor profiles all of a sudden exist when it's not gone through this industrial processing. And that is what real cacao is supposed to taste like. Real cacao has this really rich, vast, wide difference of flavor so that when it's melting on your tongue, you never know what it's going to taste like. Like it goes through these various phases of taste, and you're like, wow, this is it's like a symphony in my mouth. I'm loving it.
Wow. Yeah, all of that. This is so fascinating to me. So I'm listening at you describe the process. I mean, I just feel your passion through this virtual space. Almost drooling, but this is so fascinating. So the thing that I love really about this story, first of all, is it is so God navigated and ordained. I mean, it just could not, no one could have done this and put their stamp on it, but God,
Right.
right? So, and I mean, it's like as you're describing it, I'm thinking to myself, and I know I'm supposed to wait until the end. How can a person get hold of this chocolate? And I know we're going to talk, at the end, we'll definitely give people, contact, a way to contact you and things like that. So, but, and I'm getting to my question. I'm going to land the question plane. So this is actually this is not a franchise. This is actually your product.
Hmm.
I'm
Well,
so impressed.
it's I import
Yeah.
product. So
Yeah.
I don't make it, but
Right.
it is it is my brand, and
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people who are doing it. So a lot of people import chocolate from Europe. A lot of people import chocolate uh, from Africa, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll touch on that in a little minute. But
Sure.
and a lot of people import chocolate from um, most chocolate importers are actually from Europe. Like they import in from Europe, um, unless they're cacao bean importers, and then they start importing from the band, everywhere in the band. So
Mm-hmm.
that's Vietnam, that's parts of Africa, that's Ecuador, that's Venezuela, that's Belize, that's Panama, it's Hawaii. It's
Yeah.
it's it's that whole band. And um, gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. But oh, so there's not a lot of people who are actually doing the same thing that we are with
Yeah.
Cacao Voyage, because we're very focused on the small producers in country of source, meaning they produce their product in the country where cacao comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And and they have great relationships with their farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we make sure that they treat their farmers well, that the people who are harvesting the cacao and the people who are growing it actually have free access to the final product. Because in Africa, so the two largest exporters of cacao in the world, over 40% of the world's cacao products come from Ghana and the Ivory Coast.
Okay.
44% of the world's chocolate comes from there. And unfortunately, they have a huge trafficking problem with their
Mm-hmm.
labor. And it's almost as bad as diamond mining is the
Mm.
chocolate
Yeah.
industry there, which is
Wow.
very sad,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they have such a great growing area
Mm-hmm.
for the cacao, or else they wouldn't have been able to expand the way that they have. But unfortunately, that fast expansion has led to some very
Yeah.
unethical practices.
Yeah. Yeah. So then so this is you and your husband's company,
Mhm.
right? And so do you have like a brick and mortar building, or do you do things virtually? I think so. Tell me, how does that work?
Yeah, so we have a huge house. Because when we were caretaking for my parents. We actually bought this house before they moved in. So, and my mom was a firstborn, my dad was a firstborn, my husband is a firstborn. I'm an only. We all like our own space. So we made sure we got a space large enough for everyone to have their own space.
I love it. I love it.
So, so we have dedicated space in our house, which actually has its own entrance, its own security system and everything, its own driveway, where it is dedicated to the business. And we do host chocolate tastings here. We
Hmm.
have a huge great room and we set it up. We can have upwards of 20 people here in person and do a chocolate tasting here in person. How that said, though, most of our stuff is done online.
Okay, okay, yeah, and we'll definitely get into that. When you said this is just incredible. So when you said you are an only child, right? Your husband is a firstborn.
Hmm.
So my husband is a firstborn. I was raised as an only child, and that explains to me why we like our own spaces.
Yes.
I I I'm like, this is just incredible. There's so many different directions I want to go with this, but I got to stay, honed in. So,
I know.
okay. Oh my gosh. Um, okay. So how does the tasting go? When you host one at not the virtual. We're going to get to the virtual. I would definitely want to get to the virtual, but how does the tasting go when you host it locally?
Okay, so when I host it locally, I ask first if anybody has any allergies to specific foods. Um, and then I ask them what kind of chocolate they like. What are some favorite brands or bars or anything that, they're just like, oh yeah, that's the best I've ever had. That way I have a good idea of what their palate is used to.
Mm.
And then I have a good idea of how to expand their palate. You know, um, some of the offerings that I have might be too much of a jump, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and I would not recommend it.
Yeah.
If somebody is always eating like a Hershey bar,
Right.
I would not recommend my 83% dark chocolate to them.
Right.
That would be way too
Right.
much of
That's
a
too
jump,
much.
right?
Too much. Yeah.
So I tailor it for everyone who's going to be there. And it really is a personalized tasting for everybody. And we kind of go through, I choose between 6 and 8 different bars for people to taste. And I go through the story of the chocolate maker because I know all of these chocolate makers personally, you know. So I go through their story. Like Eric is the chocolate maker for Nome, and he started his business in his kitchen in his apartment because he loves chocolate, right? So he started this there, and now he is all over Panama. Um, so
Wow.
he's doing great. And he loves chocolate. He pours out so much love into his chocolate bars. He has an artistic touch in terms of blending the cacao beans that he gets, and he gets his cacao beans from farms all over Panama. And he's able to blend them up in a way that is just magnificent. It's it's so good.
Yeah.
Um, and I go through a lot about the chemistry behind chocolate making and what the differences are between bean to bar and industrially produced because there's a huge difference between the
Yeah.
two. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand that
Mm.
what that difference is. And then I talk about some ingredients that you want to look for and stay away from in
Yeah.
chocolate. If you see soy lecithin on the ingredients, you want to stay away from that
Got it.
because it gets added in as an extra emulsifier because they didn't add enough cacao butter or cocoa butter
Mm,
to it. And
yeah.
they did not conch it. And conching is the process of grinding up the beans
Yeah.
to make the paste to that then makes the fluid chocolate. So industrial chocolate gets conched from 1 to 2 hours. Okay. Bean to bar chocolate gets conched for 24 to 48 hours. Huge difference.
You, you see me shaking my head like I have watched documentaries on chocolate. So everything that you're saying is like, yeah. I mean, not that I doubted that you didn't know your stuff, but and how long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been doing Cacao Voyage since April, so not
Mhm.
very long. I have been doing chocolate, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
well, yeah.
for forever.
So
I
when you were a little girl, did you love chocolate like you do now?
oh, I did. I
I did
did.
too.
I One of the first things I made was chocolate brownies,
Oh my gosh, I love chocolate brownies.
right? I do.
Ah, anyway, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have always loved chocolate and I even wanted to become a chocolatier. So, when I started having my health issue, is
Mhm.
actually I was debating at the
Mhm.
time, should I become a chocolatier or should I try to figure out what's going on with me health-wise? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have money for one,
Right.
you know, so
Yeah. Yeah.
so I chose to address my health issue, which,
Wow.
I'm thankful that I did because I'm healthy
Yeah.
now. But
So when you have your virtual events, not virtual, your local events, so send out some type of an invite and then
mhm,
people, come
yeah,
over and kind of like a
right?
wine tasting kind of
Yeah, kind of
sort of
like a
kind of thing.
wine tasting, kind of like it's somewhere in between a wine tasting and a coffee cupping, if you've ever been to a
Oh,
coffee cupping.
I have
Um,
not. That
okay,
sounds
so yeah,
exciting.
it's kind of between the two. So
Got it.
you get some education, you get to sample products, you get to meet people, you get to have fun, and depending on what people want with it. I will
Yeah.
either offer some food pairings, I can offer some drink pairings, or I just do water because you need a palate cleanser between each bite that you taste. Or else they're all gonna meld and run together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes that's not so bad. I mean,
Oh,
so
yeah. But if you're trying to find your favorite,
if you're
which
trying to find your favorite,
I'm always telling people the
that's
goal of
true.
this is to find your favorite and then find something that challenges you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm all about people finding what they love. I'm like, now when you know this flavor profile, because I have a printout for people to write out the flavors they tasted, how the chocolate smelled, how it felt in their hand, whether it melted quickly or slowly, just all sorts of information so that you get uh, better acclimated to actually tasting your chocolate and not just chewing it and eating it, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things for people in those is to not chew. I'm like, don't chew.
Yeah, I can kind of see me. Yeah, I could see that. I can see that because yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just because I know for me, it's like one of my a relative of like if I have hard candy, I'm going
Hmm.
to bite it and crunch it. I'm not going to just suck on it.
Yeah.
So, so I mean I can get that. I get that totally. So you've mentioned that and based on some of the questions that you've received. So you mentioned that chocolate chocolate deserves a ritual. I
Yes.
so love that. Not just a bite. That right there captures everything, and the reason why you just said, not to chew. It is a
Hmm.
ritual. So kind of walk us through like your four-step ritual of discovery and how
Yeah.
that helps
So,
people. How does that help people to slow down, find presence, and connect with the farmers who grew the cacao?
right. So I find a lot of people, myself included, are busy, go, 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 almost all day long, right? We need time to sit
Yeah.
and take a moment and breathe and be present and to just enjoy what we're doing, you know? Just, I know a lot of people call it mindfulness, but I actually like to consider it being present in the moment
Mhm.
with your present, you
Mhm.
know? Like Jesus always shows up with a present.
Yes. Yes.
The Holy Spirit always comes with a present. That's why we have the gifts
Yes.
of the Spirit.
Yes. Oh
He's
my
present with a
gosh.
present. So
Yes.
I'm always trying to get
I
people
love that.
to be still
Mm.
and know.
Mm.
Like
Based
just
on that
know.
scripture, be
Yes.
still and know that I am
Be
God. Yes.
still and
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Know what you know in the moment.
Yeah.
So there have been times where I had to do that for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was going on with my health. So so the first step is the arrival. So
Mhm.
um you get the piece of chocolate, and I usually put it in a little dish. It's a little white square dish.
Mhm.
I place it in there and I tell the person to pick it up and put it in their hand and let it sit there. And your body heat starts to warm it up a little, but it doesn't really melt in your hand. It just starts to get a little warmer. And then that in itself releases some aroma. So then you put it up to your nose and you smell of it. And you take a deep inhale and really smell what it is. Like, and you can pick up on all sorts of different smells when you do it that way.
Mhm.
So the second step is center stage, and it's you put it on the center of your tongue and you allow your body's moisture to let it melt. And you just notice things. You notice, does it feel smooth? Is it rough? Is it melting quickly? Is it melting slowly? And then the third step is to allow the symphony of flavors to unfold. So what's the first taste that you get? A lot of people are like chocolate, and I'm like, okay, well, but what does it taste like? And I
Yeah.
have a flavor wheel
Oh,
um,
okay.
that I have for people to look at. So I find that helps a lot of times for people to identify. And they're like, I'm not sure what that flavor is, and they're like, oh, it's citrus peel. Um, and I'm like, really let it go through the entire symphony of flavors. And you'll notice that there are at least four distinct flavors in each of the different bars. And then the final step is just to let it linger, right? It's the reflection of what did you think of it? It was okay, so you noticed all those things. So, what kind of rating would you give it? Is it something you love? Is it something that was good? Something you're glad you tried? Just let it slowly dissipate and notice if there are any lingering flavor at the end and give it a rating for how you enjoyed it. So, that's the fourth step.
Wow. So it's an experience.
It is.
I, as you were saying that, I was thinking like I was visualizing myself in that experience because when I eat chocolate, I don't go through those steps.
Yeah. Not a lot of people do.
Right, right. So that I love how, how that flows. So I know that you're currently promoting private virtual chocolate tastings. And of
Mhm.
course, that sounds amazing to me,
Yeah.
right? That personalized
Yeah.
experience. So, um how does that work, and how important has your face-to-face presence and direct storytelling, how has that been in building these relationships and securing like early partners like Echo Coffee, for example?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just
Right? So it's very interesting because a lot of people say the same thing when they meet face to face with me. They're like, "You are obviously passionate about this. You love talking about chocolate." I do. They're like, "You just
yes.
come alive when you start talking about it." It's hard not to get excited about it with you so excited about it. So that has been very helpful, because people see the passion behind it, people see the enthusiasm behind it, people get to hear the story behind it because, it's my philosophy that we should be in business to do good,
Yeah.
right? I,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to make money, but we should be in
Right.
business
Yeah.
to do good. And if we're
Yeah.
not doing good in our business, then we shouldn't be doing the business we're doing. It's just
Yes.
kind of my philosophy on that.
Absolutely. Mhm.
And so people, when they're one on one with me, they get it. They get the
Mhm.
passion, they get the calling, they get the survivor led solutions. They understand that. I mean, yes, I am on the board for survivor led solutions. I'm the treasurer, I'm the grant writer. I mean, I am involved in this organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I am so excited that this exists here in Pensacola, right?
Mhm.
So that one-on-one interaction works so well. People are like, yeah, I have yet to have an in-person person to say no to me. And I think that's why. Like I think it's
Mhm.
because of of the interaction and the passion that's behind it.
Mhm.
But oh my goodness, do I have a hard time when I am not in person. And, I'm like contacting businesses, and
Yeah.
trying to make new contacts and everything. And I get crickets or
Yeah.
I get, no, we're not interested. So that can be disheartening and
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. So, um, yeah. So, I'm just telling you right now. So I do want to host a virtual event. So I do.
Yes.
So we'll talk about all the details and how that works because I have always for years, for the past, I don't know, as I've been in business for quite some time, and different types of businesses and things like that. But since I've been doing a lot of things virtually, I've been wondering how I could do something like that virtually, but and it be chocolate related.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I have been wondering that for quite some time. So anyway, this is not a meeting by coincidence or accident at all. So I wanted to just say that first of all, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how we're going to navigate, everything. I'm in Texas, by the way.
Oh,
And
awesome.
so, but we'll
We're
figure that
neighbors.
out. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll figure all that out. So I want to move now a little bit to the bottleneck part, because you've
Mhm.
shared that you have successfully perfected the craft, right?
Mhm.
And built a strong supply chain to help survivors. But the demand that that your demand generation hasn't fully caught up to
Yeah.
the production capacity.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about what that gap looks like and, why
Yeah.
scaling is
So
so critical, in
I
that?
think a lot of the gap is marketing.
Mm.
So when I stepped back from everything, like the marketing world changed,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
What I knew to do for marketing is not the same as it was 2 years, like when I was doing it a lot for my other businesses. So I'm like, I have no idea. Like someone had to tell me what AEO was. I was like, what's
Mm.
that? I've never
Yeah.
even heard of that.
Yeah.
I was like, SEO, I know that, you know. So marketing has been rough,
Yeah.
right? And just figuring out who even to listen to about marketing
Mhm.
is rough, right? So I have all this product now,
Mhm.
and I'm going to get some more in September because I'm taking my trip to Panama in
Yeah.
September to meet with some different manufacturers
Mhm. Mhm.
and artisans. And I'm like, but I feel like I'm not going to do them justice because my sales flow has gone down recently,
Mhm.
right? Like it was really, really good, really strong, and now all of a sudden it's like really, really low.
Mhm.
And um, I'm not sure if it's because I don't know the right marketing or if I'm not doing the right things or, because I know I have a good quality product. I know when
Mhm.
people taste it, people love the product, right?
Mhm.
There's nobody who's tasted it who has been like, oh, I don't like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
know. Um, so it's about finding new ways of getting it in front of people,
Gotcha.
right? Like I've been trying to go to markets, but here it's Florida and our
Yeah.
temperature is in the 90s right now. And it's kind of hard to do chocolate at an outdoor farmer's market in the 90s and not have your
Yeah.
product lose temper. So
Right.
let me just explain the chemistry behind that because
Mhm.
your chocolate will go out of temper. It can be perfectly tempered, which means it's shiny. It has a snap break. When you snap the bar, it snaps. um, there's no like white film on it or anything, but it is shiny and it snaps. If it goes out of temper, which can be caused by temperature fluctuations outside,
Mhm.
so if it's warm outside and you're outside with the chocolate bar, it'll get warm and then you go back in. And if you go into an air conditioned place, then it drops drastically, suddenly. All of a sudden, you'll look at your bar and it's got a white film on it. And if you don't know chocolate, you're like, did my chocolate mold? That's the
Mm.
first thing people think when they see a white film on their chocolate. Did it go bad?
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
didn't go bad. It went out of temper, and that's either the milk solids or it's water or it's fat that has come to the top of your bar and it no longer is shiny. It may look powdery and it will no longer snap when you break it. It might kind of bend and break. So
Yeah.
it's no
Yeah.
longer that snap of a
Right.
break.
Right. 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 So your so marketing is it the marketing itself or is the system behind your marketing that you're kind of struggling with?
Oh, the system behind my marketing, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. So when you do a virtual event, for example, what is your current process?
So currently, I put it out to my social media that we're going to have an event on this date, that we have room for X amount of people, um, and kind of, you need to sign up for it at least 7 days beforehand so we have time to ship you your package
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mm-hmm.
you can get everything in time for the tasting,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and try to build up anticipation for it and stuff like that. But that just is not working. So far, I've only had 4 people sign up
Okay.
for
That
that,
want to
and
that want to do the virtual one.
mhm.
So these virtual events, that's one on one, or is it a group?
Well, it depends. So it can be one-on-one, which I'm fine with. I have a QR code on my business card for when
Okay.
I'm out locally, and I'm like, hey, schedule a private tasting with me,
Mm-hmm.
scan the code, schedule a tasting. There's no cost involved with it. Um, and then when they come, it's free as long as you buy a bar, kind of like wine tastings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and so that has worked really well for locals who want to do that. But I just have not been able to find a solution for virtual tastings. Either my wording is not good with it or something, because people don't seem to be interested in it, or I haven't been able to reach the right people who would be
You
interested
haven't
in
you
it.
haven't reached a chocolate holic like me.
Right. I mean, did you even know I offered it?
I did not. I did not. I did not know. And
Yeah, so I'm not doing a good job.
well, that doesn't mean that, So what my thought around kind of fixing, the problem for so first, let me say this. First of all, you know, you may have two markets.
Mm,
You may have the consumer market and you may have the business owner, market, right?
yeah.
The business owner market probably would work better, one to one maybe. Your consumer market would be like one to many. So if you have a system that where your QR code takes them directly to sign up for your event,
Mm,
and when they sign up, now you've captured their name and email address, because the main thing you're going to want to do is to start collecting emails and contact information so that you can start building an email list. Because I that's a big gap to me when you don't have people, when you are relying on the socials to do the marketing for you, because the difference between the socials and your email list is that in your email list you're not fighting an algorithm. They signed up on your email list because they want to hear from you. So let's just say we um you know created a QR code that takes them to your next virtual event. Okay, and let's just say your next virtual event is in August or whenever. And so when you are, share in the market and all that kind of stuff, and in the local market, so there's nothing to stop them from coming if it's number one, if it's a free event. Number two, they don't have to travel. However, they would have to purchase, and this is my understanding, they would have to purchase the chocolate because they got to know how it tastes, right?
mm-hmm.
So if you
Yeah.
had a one to many, and a system that can, support that type of uh, generation of leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would work better. So let's just say, for example, I use Eventbrite for all of my events, whether it's a master class, whether it's a uh, um, my networking event, or what have you. Then you can capture their name, address, not address. I mean, you can capture their address because you probably will need it if they want to sign up for that. You will need that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a payment processor, right? And that also, all of that is inside of a platform like Eventbrite. Okay.
Okay.
So they have the QR code, it takes them to Eventbrite. They sign up for whatever day you have the, the event, and you do your tasting. But you've also collected their emails. Now you have a contact list for when you have the next one, or when you have a sale on your chocolate, or when you get a new shipment in, or when you get a new product in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that to me it feels like that might be the bottleneck for you doing, like, one to many. Now, who knows? Once they taste the chocolate, they may want to be a part of the business opportunity if that's what you have. Or they may even have, it may be someone that comes to your virtual event, signs up for your virtual event, buys the chocolate, tastes the chocolate. They may have a local facility, a
Mm-hmm.
shop or something. They may want to sell it in their shop. So you've got those opportunities. I feel like there's some money on the table, that's where you may be leaving some money on the table.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that do, myself, like, I love virtual events. I do like in-person event, but I love virtual events. Also, if you're talking to someone that may be out of town like myself, then, and perhaps developing and creating an audience of people who love chocolate like me, get them gathered on a virtual event, have a tasting as well. So it may be someone that a person that loves it so much, like, hey, I want to host a virtual event. So you have that. And really, it sounds a lot, it kind of sounds a lot like, the Mary Kay and, some of those, but pushing a, you're not trying to get people to sell. You're just trying to get people to taste and enjoy the
Mm-hmm.
experience of chocolate. And they have to be a lover of that, in the first place. So I think
Yeah.
the platform that may be the thing that gets you the traffic that you need. And of course, we would have to get the wording, the copy on the platform so that it speaks to that person. Like,
Yes.
hey, are you a chocolate lover? Whatever we're going to say, on the thing. And I want to be your first guinea pig. So, like, I'm just saying.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking that we could do. So I can actually create the virtual event on, because I have like almost like 1,000 people following me already. I've been using Eventbrite for like 10 years or so.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I get people to, to the event, my virtual event. Like my networking event, for example. I just had my networking event. It's every Tuesday, every second Tuesday, not second Tuesday, every fourth Tuesday of the month. I have my networking event. I can create an event that specifically catered around this product and chocolate, get them to the event. Now, of course, we'd have to go through some logistics in terms of, they got to pay for the chocolate, all that kind of stuff. That all can be worked out. But I think that could possibly create more interest. And I'm telling anybody that knows me, chocolate is the first thing that comes out of my mouth. I mean, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Dream, I don't know anybody that loves it." Yeah, there's a few, but uh but even just not just chocolate lovers, but those who may be just interested, and so that may sign up. So if we did
Mhm.
something like that, I think that we can get some people in a virtual space that can get you the leads that you want. Because of course, like I said, you're definitely going to have to create an email list if you don't have one. Do you have one? I guess I should have asked that first.
It is very small.
Okay,
I think
okay.
I have
That's
20
okay.
people on it.
That's okay. You got some. You
It's
started.
small.
So no, 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 no. It's okay. So and whatever platform, are you using a particular platform as your autoresponder, like MailChimp or something like that?
I had been,
Okay.
and then I switched. So I don't know if I am or not. Like I just switched platforms for my website.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. So if it's on your
my
website, yeah, got it. Got it.
okay.
Yeah, we can work out all of the, logistics, of that and get, because the first thing is to build your email list. That's the
Okay.
first thing. I am on email list of, like, I'm on an email list of this company. They have protein cookies. I
Hmm.
think it's called Lenny and Larry's or something like that. But
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
they their chocolate chip cookies are so divine.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
My dad used to eat them.
oh my gosh. So, but you see what I mean now? So I'm on their email list. And
Yeah.
so I just think it's about getting people in the virtual space, getting people, and even if it's creating a local event, or even so there's three ways: a virtual event, a local event, one to one, and the third one is one to many. And that could be, maybe you partnering with someone that has a shop. And I think, like with the Echo Coffee,
Hmm.
are you doing events there?
Not yet. We haven't
Okay.
scheduled them, but we've talked to them about
Okay.
it and they're on board with it. So we
Okay.
just need to get our schedules in order. But I do have two places that have scheduled to
Good.
have events there. So I've got
Yeah.
one at a local Pilates studio and I have one at a bookstore slash coffee shop. So
There
I'm
we
very
go.
excited about those. But so here's my question though.
Mhm.
How do I collect people's names and emails at those
S-
things?
Yeah. So the QR code needs to take them to wherever the uh like if you're collecting email addresses on your website,
Hmm.
the QR code needs to send them to the website so that they can sign up, right? And so you can use, if your website doesn't have, what platform do you use for your website?
Um, of
Is it
course,
Wix or
no, I just
no?
switched from Wix to Shopify.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, see if Shopify has, and am I understanding, when they go to Shopify, then that's how they can purchase the chocolate. Am I correct? Or
Hmm. Yeah.
okay. So, and I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Shopify gives you their emails. Am I correct?
No, they do.
They do. Okay, okay, okay. Well, then you already have something in place. So
Okay.
we just need to, so you need to send them, you would send them to Shopify, and begin collecting those email addresses that's going to build your email list. You got it.
Okay.
And so be able to, respond to them, like when they first, of course, like when they first sign up, they get a response. And then when you have an event, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
you already have an ecosystem in place. And so you start building that. And then when you have events, you can use Eventbrite to create the event, and you can collect their email from there as well. Is that making sense?
Yes.
All
And
right.
I'm taking
Okay.
notes. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, you're going to get a sheet from me with all of what we've talked about. I mean, don't stop taking notes, but you're going to get a document that has everything that we,
Awesome.
talked about, so
Yeah. I
don't
learn
worry
better
about that.
when I
Oh, I
write.
know. Yeah, there's a connection there. I know.
There
There's a
is.
connection. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that that's going to help, and we'll, definitely talk about how, like I said, the logistics of all of that, um, doing something virtual, because there's purpose behind it, there's passion behind it, and there's proclivity behind everything that you're doing. And so it's so God inspired. And so uh, I just I don't have any words. I'm at a loss for words for how this has connected my heart to what you're doing,
Mm,
through chocolate.
right? Chocolate. I know,
Yes.
and I'm super excited because we're about to bring on um a new producer. Um and they're
'Cause
in Hawaii,
you
which
do a
is
podcast because you're doing a podcast.
I don't do a podcast.
You don't do a podcast. Okay.
I
Is that
don't know
something?
how to do podcasts.
Okay.
You know,
You don't have to.
people
It's
have
okay.
always been like, you should do one because you love to talk about things.
Well, if that
I'm like,
if that was something, excuse me, if that was something you were interested in doing, maybe later on we can talk about that, because that's one of the things that I help people do anyway. Launch
yeah.
podcasts. And so I'm a strategist, from that perspective. And so, but yeah, I think that getting, people to your virtual event, having a QR code that take the Shopify provide, and it provides a QR code, right? You said that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so that can be, for now, where you start. Whenever
Okay,
you
yeah.
share that with people, you send them there. And then when you're having a conversation, let's just say you're having a conversation with someone face to face, you can say, look, here's my QR code. If you're interested in, a tasting or what have you, we do free tasting, whatever, however you want to, put it. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, it all depends on the audience that you're trying to connect with, and that language as well. And so, yeah, I'm just thrilled. I'm over the moon thrilled about this conversation.
Me too. Thank you. I feel so much better knowing I've got a path to take
Yes.
because I was in like overwhelm
Yeah.
about it. I was like, I don't know what to focus on. I'm not sure what my first step should be with
Yeah.
this. I've been going through an AEO audit of my website. I finished my SEO audit of my website. So
Yeah.
I'm like trying to
Yeah.
make sure it's searchable and findable.
Right. Right. And what were the results? Did you
Oh,
find?
it wasn't getting found
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
So, I mean, at least I know,
Yeah.
like I knew to address those things so I can start getting
Right.
found.
Right.
But I think I've written 10 blog posts and I can't find them. Like, I even know the web address for them and I can't find them. Like,
So let me ask you this. So with your blog posts and your content, so obviously the blog posts, that's the content container that you're using to draw people to the website, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
well, it's more about
Or
education.
traffic
Um,
to the website?
because I'm an educator.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
I mean, I was a professional trainer in the corporate world. I taught um, I taught computers at a French immersion school. I speak some French.
I
I'm
remember
an
seeing that.
educator.
Yeah.
I teach like with whatever I'm doing. I try to teach
Yeah.
something about it. So all my blog posts are like
To
educational.
educate people. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, like I have one about lab grown cacao, which is going to start being in products of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Cadbury, Nestle, Hershey, they're all using lab grown cacao in their products this year.
Mm, yeah. Enough about that
Yeah.
one, huh? Yeah. Yeah. That is
Yeah.
why I don't eat those products.
Yeah.
Um, so okay. So that is so the goal is so you really want to focus on, but let me ask you this one more question. So are you using AI at all to help you discover most people who write well don't want to use AI.
Right. I have been using it as a, so I ask it to act like a, um, oh, what was the last thing I asked it about? Because I do a lot of it with my grant writing, and
Okay.
and I ask it, what specifically is this organization looking for? What kind of wording are they looking for? What speaks to them?
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to speak their language, right?
Right.
So I've been using it that way. I've also been using it to uh, perform audits on some of my content,
Right.
but I
Right.
haven't really been using it to generate
Right.
content.
Well, the one thing that I always say is that you start so you you don't start from AI. You start from here, right? Well,
Yeah,
you start from here, the Holy Spirit.
yeah, yeah,
Let him speak to you and then you speak to AI, right?
yeah.
And so, but there are, and I'll send you a prompt that may help you to
Okay, cool.
that that may help you to get the results that you want. Basically, you just tell it to act as a world-class copywriter,
Oh,
and
cool.
I mean, you got to give it an identity. And also in your AI, you have to make sure that your AI tool knows who you are and is able to
Hmm.
speak in your tone, and all those type of things. So, but we're not going to go down the AI rabbit trail. But that's just one of the things that that will help you. But I'll send you a prompt that may help you, that you can tweak and
Cool.
for your own. So I'll make
Thank
sure that
you.
you get that. You'll get the document that helps as well, with some steps, based on what we've covered. So lastly, how can people reach out to you?
Well, they can go to my website. It's www.cacaovoyage.com. They can email me. I am Sarah at cacaovoyage.com.
Mm-hmm.
If they are interested in becoming a boutique partner or a reseller, or they want a wholesale order, they can reach out to concierge at cacaovoyage.com.
Got it.
Uh, but yeah,
Yeah. And
I'm
all that.
also
Go
on
ahead. Go ahead.
Facebook.
You're
I'm
on Facebook,
Cacao Voyage on
right? Right.
and I'm on Instagram, but I just got on Instagram yesterday, so I don't
Okay.
have a lot of
Are you
content
on
there.
LinkedIn? Are you on LinkedIn?
Oh gosh, I'm on LinkedIn as myself. I'm not on there. Like I'm on there as like an IT project manager and a technical writer. I'm not on there as a business owner.
Another place that you may want to, so the reason I said LinkedIn, because, it's a lot
Corporate
about
gifting.
business, and yeah, so that may be another way to attract corporate um, partners, and Substack as well. Not just so
Oh,
much corporate partners. Well, Substack, I've just kind of started getting on Substack. So for blogs, and you can go live. There's a lot. It's like another social media platform, but they don't suppress your stuff based on what they feel like doing in the algorithm. So yeah. So what is the first thing that you're going to do when we get off this call? What's the first step you want to take?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it now. Thank you, Jesus,
Ah,
for helping me
yes.
connect with Adrima so that we can have this conversation.
Yes. Yes.
But then I'm really gonna I'm gonna look into getting my email list going.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna go get the QR code that will go straight to get on my email list. And then I'm going to work on some Facebook posts um,
Mhm.
to talk about. I'm going to do one just to get interest in signing up for my email list
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that they can
Yeah.
stay on top of things. But then I'm going to work on putting together one for a virtual event.
Yes.
Um, and then I'm going to talk to Gary about the two local events we have coming up
Mhm.
and about doing the email list for those two.
Awesome. Awesome. Was this helpful?
So helpful. Thank you so much. I am so appreciative.
Absolutely. My pleasure. My new chocolate buddy.
I love chocolate so
Oh
much.
my gosh. Oh
I
my
tell you
gosh.
what, there is a great chocolatier um, in Texas. Oh, I'll have to look up their name, but they're a great bean to bar chocolatier there in Texas. I'll have to
Yeah.
look them up. Yeah,
See,
they
I can see having a an event, an in-person event here, um, because it's just a matter of having, a location that people will come to. So and
right.
it could be, an event that where people get to network and have chocolate.
Exactly, right? I've tried to pitch that here with some
Well,
people.
I'm going to see what I can do over here.
Okay. I'll keep trying to pitch that here to people, because I've also been trying to pitch this as corporate team building,
Yeah.
like a team building thing.
Yeah.
During COVID, like my husband's company, they sent out liquor to their people and had happy hours. Right? I'm like,
Yeah.
why can't you send out chocolate and have
Yeah.
a chocolate happy hour?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm
I totally
excited.
agree. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So I want to thank you, Sarah, for being on the show. And I really thank God for allowing you to share your story the way you have shared that. I believe it's going to touch a lot of people. And I pray that this episode really reaches the masses and but the right people, the
Yeah,
right people. And just connect in a way, because it really is a ministry, you know.
yeah,
And I'm all about stewarding the gifts and the gifts that God gives us. We are to steward them and steward them well. And I believe that that's what you're doing. And so I'm excited to be a part of this journey with you. So I don't know everywhere this is going to take us, but I'm ready for the ride.
right? I'm excited. I'm so excited. I love God ordained timing and
Yeah.
you know,
So it's so cool. It's like,
it
God, you're so
is.
cool.
It is.
Just
And
do
that's
everything so
something I
cool.
used to tell myself when I was like in the midst of a bad situation,
Mhm.
right? I would say two things to myself. I would say, and it came to pass, right? Like
Mm.
it came so it could pass by. I'm
Yeah.
going to get through it. It came
Yeah.
to pass, right?
Yeah.
And then my other one was suddenly, right? There are so many
Mhm.
passages, especially in the Old Testament, that is just like suddenly,
I
blah, 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 blah,
know.
blah, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, yes,
Yes.
I could use with one of those suddenlies. But what
Mm-hmm.
we don't realize is everything that's going on behind the scenes before
That's
the
right.
suddenly.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
So I've been
Absolutely.
praying. I've been like, okay, Lord, please prepare me for this suddenly. Whatever I
Yes.
need to be doing right now to get to
Yeah.
the suddenly.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. Well, I want to thank everyone who's watching this episode, whether you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. And I invite you to connect with Sarah. All of her information will be in the show notes. And so, especially if you love chocolate like we do. And if you don't, maybe you know someone that loves chocolate like we do. And if you want to reach out, certainly do that. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I wish I could give you a hug. I'm a hugger.
Well,
But
I am too. So we got virtual hug here. Mm. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay. So